What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another flipping live stream, guys. I hope you guys are excited. It's been a minute since we've had a live stream, but I'm excited to attack it again on this lovely Monday evening. And let's get right into it, guys. I don't have too many announcements today, although I will say we are now working with our max cash stack again. We got 2.140 billion in the stack, ready to rip on the exchange. So if you guys do enjoy this one, be sure to drop a like, and let's get into it. I think the music might be a little bit too loud here, but that should sound a little bit better. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be flipping today, but we do have Keith saying hello from the Isle of Man. Good to see you, Keith. Thank you for tuning in. Almost on every single live stream, dude. I really do appreciate the support. Now, I do want to get into some flips today. Give me a minute here to just open this little beverage I have now. It's non-alcoholic, guys, so don't get crazy. It is a Monday, so we can't exactly get into the drinks quite yet. Now, I will go ahead and start this session off with a Twisted Bow flip. I have been looking at the Twisted Bow a couple minutes before I started the stream, and honestly, it looks like it's going back up in price. I'm not exactly sure, but I do think we're going to be able to flip one for quite a decent profit. So that's what we're going to get it into first here today. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying, definitely drop a like. But I do have a wow. That Twisted Bow actually bought a little bit too quickly. It makes me a little bit concerned about where the price might actually be on this thing. Let me think here. So I don't want to list it back right on top of its current margin, right? Because if I do, then I think it's going to be a little bit too difficult to actually end up selling this Twisted Bow. Considering how fast we actually bought that Twisted Bow, I'm a little bit concerned that we might have bought it for too high in price. But hopefully things go in our direction and we are able to sell it off regardless. Now, I do want to flip the Scythe of Vitur as well. Now, the Scythe and the Twisted Bow have actually crashed a ton recently, and they're super cheap right now. Now, I haven't done a lot of flipping these past couple of days. I actually went to my hometown this past weekend to visit a friend who was coming into town, so it was always good to see an old friend who hasn't been around in a while, but I haven't done a lot of flipping because of that. And today, I do want to make up for some of those gains that I might have missed out on those prior weeks. Oh my, and the Scythe bought way too quickly as well. This is a little bit concerning, but we might actually get lucky on this thing. Now, we're going to turn this around for about a 1.5 mil profit if I can sell that off. Jesse, oh, good to see you, Jesse. Thanks for tuning in over on Twitch. He says it has been going from 930 to 900 back and forth really quickly the last few days. That's interesting to see. My guess would be there is probably some resistance on that Twisted Bow around the 900 mil range. And the reason that is right, like, think of the Twisted Bow and how powerful that thing is in the meta. Now, there are some upcoming range changes that might actually change how effective that Twisted Bow is at the end of the day. But at the same exact time, it still is a very strong weapon, and currently in the meta right now, it's very powerful. It likely will remain the best ranged weapon. I can't see any changes or new items that Jagex adds that will actually change the stance on that ranged weapon. Regardless, though, we are at a bad spot on the Twisted Bow flip, so we do need to be very careful of that. Now, there are a few good margins as well, and the Grazi looks like it's actually holding around 100 mil, which is a good sign as well. So I'm going to go ahead and flip a couple of Grazis here. That should be about right. We'll do a couple of Grazis. We'll do 3 of them to start, and that's going to leave us with 400 mil to put into another item. And I'm honestly looking at a lot of stuff here. I don't see anything that really is sticking out to me. Now, I do think we could flip some Avernic Defenders for a decent margin, but every time I do go flip those Avernics, I find it very difficult to actually flip them and buy and sell them without too many issues. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. The Arcane Spirit Shields look decent, but I'm not crazy about them because the last few times we've actually tried to flip them, they've just taken a really long time to actually buy and sell, and they actually have been pretty competitive for the margin we were getting. So I'm currently looking through some other stuff. I would be happy flipping the Spectral Shields instead, but I still think that's actually going to be a relatively hard item to flip just because it's been taking so long to get it sold off. Now, these are actually probably going to buy pretty quickly if I had to guess. And we'll go in for maybe 6 of the Spectral Spirit Shields if we are able to. We can actually do 7 of them. So we'll actually go ahead and list 7 of the shields. We have Morris in the chat. He says, hi, good to see you, Morris. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the live stream. And guys, if you are enjoying the stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. And yeah, let's keep it up. Moore says, my guy, why is the T-bow crashing? Feels bad, man. I mean, the thing is with the Twisted Bow, right? Like, there's a bunch of ranged meta changes coming, so we don't really know where that Twisted Bow is going to sit after the changes come into the game. So I think that is actually having a little bit of an effect on the price. Now, we actually bought the Twisted Bow for a little bit too high of a price here recently, so I'm a little bit nervous about where that thing might end up. But at the same time, we're just going to let it rip for now, to be honest. Give me one sec. Okay, anyway, sorry, I got distracted with the phone, guys. You know how it is. I mean, there's also more and more content coming into the game, and, there's more and more, oh, you mean from a supply standpoint? Well, that is true, Jesse. I think the main issue with the oversupply is that there's not a lot of, great content coming into the game right now, and because of that, the player base count is really not that high. So because the player base count is really not that high, and we do have Twisted Bows continuing to come into the game, as well as just really not a lot of demand on those Twisted Bows, that's obviously going to cause an issue for the price, right? So anyway, we are trying to sell this Twisted Bow off for basically a very small gain right now. The reason I actually want to do that is because I want to cycle back into the Twisted Bow at a cheaper price. As of right now, we're not really looking too pretty on that Twisted Bow, so we definitely want to adjust that. Same thing with the Scythe here. We are up on the Scythe still, but I do need to actually rotate this down in price a little bit to actually sell that off for a good price. Ben says, do you think the Twisted Bow will go up or down after the ranged meta change? I mean, it depends. Like, it depends on, one, if there's any future content where the Twisted Bow is going to be effective. And also, on top of that as well, it depends how significant these new ranged meta items come. I'm actually not too familiar or up to speed with the changes that are coming to these ranged items, so I don't really want to give an opinion on whether I think the Twisted Bow will go up or down in price. In my opinion, I can't really see the Twisted Bow going that far down in price. I'm actually surprised it's sitting at 906 mil as we speak, because keep in mind that the Twisted Bow is very important for the Inferno challenge, and that is a very significant piece of content within the game and will always be a significant piece of content. So that is sort of why the Elysian is also holding a very strong price point. Concurrent players went down like 30 to 40k. Yeah, it's crazy because, like, think about this, right? Like, we had this huge player base spike because of the world situation with the virus, and because of that, we had so many people playing RuneScape for entertainment. So we had a huge boost of players coming into the game that drove prices insane. Then they all suddenly left very, very fast, and now we're kind of looking at prices that are a lot lower than we've really seen in a long time due to that massive sell-off, due to that less demand in the game now, and just oversupply that is sitting on the economy, and that obviously has a major effect on the game. And it also has an effect on, like, gold farmers, right? Like, people who are playing the game to specifically sell gold. They're not as inclined to play anymore as well because gold prices are pretty low. And the reason gold prices are so low is because there's just not that many people playing the game. There's not a lot of demand for gold, and there's always an oversupply of that, right? So you have to keep that in mind. Now, I do not condone real-world trading. I've never done it. Do not do it. Your account will get banned. But I do know that the price of gold is a lot cheaper than it typically is. It is important to recognize the black market economy in old school RuneScape if you are someone who does flipping, but you should not be encouraged to actually participate in it because, you're going to get banned if you do that. So do it at your own risk, I guess, if I'm not convincing you otherwise. But anyway, we're going to sell these Grazis back. Now, I'm not crazy about the margin we're getting on these Grazis right now. We are going to sell them back for about a 90k profit each, and we'll see if we can actually sell that pretty quickly. But we did rip a Twisted Bow flip insanely fast, so we're definitely going to go in on another one of those. Very happy with the profit on that. We made one for about, or flipped one for about like 1.3 mil profit, which is very, very solid. So we'll take that to the stack, add that to the profit today, and currently we're up 1.5 mil about 9 minutes into the stream. It's looking really good right now, guys. The Scythe is not great though. That's the only thing that's maybe a little bit questionable. Keith Rowley says, I think it's just a general slump. Tortures are going to be under 90 mil soon. Lindor says, how are the volatile orbs doing, champ? Lindor, man, good to see you. They sold off, by the way, over the weekend. I wasn't playing at all over the weekend, and I just left them in there. But I did. Yesterday, I checked the price on the volatile orbs, and I was like, that's a guaranteed sell, my boys. And yeah, we did sell both of them. We made 10 mil on the two that we had because we sold them for 5 mil profit each. And then I think we made maybe like 2 mil on the other two. So like really solid profit, like maybe 12, 14 mil in total, which is really, really nice. I do have a screenshot of it, and they all sold. So that was really good. Now that was kind of offset by the Justiciar armor sets. So we basically didn't make any money because we lost a ton of money on those sets. I would think we lost like 5 mil per set. So I think we actually might be in the negative on that. But you know what? It's okay. We all make mistakes, and it is what it is. I was actually really happy about the volatile orbs. Didn't really care as much about the Justiciar armor sets, although it was a mistake that I should have avoided. We have been crushing it on the live streams recently, though, so the profit has been very, very consistent. Now, we're going to go ahead and sell this Twisted Bow back as well. These things have been trading extremely fast here, and I see no doubt in my mind that this will actually end up selling off here, even though the active margin has adjusted slightly and not in our favor as well. We're actually going to cancel this Spectral Spirit Shield as well. We're going to buy another Scythe of Vitur with it, just because the Scythe has gone down about 3 mil since we bought this original one. And I think we're going to be able to get another one for a little bit cheaper, and we'll actually turn that around, buy it and sell it back onto the exchange, and we'll go from there. We also got the Grazi sold off as well. We sold 3 of them for 240k in profit. It's not amazing, but we'll take what we can get on the Grazis. And currently our average is about 9.8 mil an hour, which is exceptionally well. So I'm hoping we can actually get there. Knew you would get out of the orbs. Lindors, man, I appreciate your advice, by the way. I do appreciate that. I did think it was going to come back up. I just didn't know how fast it was going to happen. So I was hoping I wouldn't have to bag hold them during the week on these flipping live streams, because obviously that would not have been my preference, right? So we did get them off. We did make it out okay. And yeah, feels bad on the Justiciar armor sets, but you know what? Like, it's just a stupid mistake, man. And so was the volatile orbs, by the way. I'm not saying I was playing that right at all. That was definitely a mistake as well. But, you know, obviously one could have been a lot more damaging than the other. I mean, we basically were in the worst case scenario on the Justiciar armor sets, and we only lost like 25 mil in the end, which is like really not that bad. It might be bad for some of you in the chat, but for me, like, hey, I'll take that any day. Just when you're talking about like multi-mil losses, that's when it gets a little bit hairy. I made 26 mil today on 24 Mages books. Wow. What happened? Did the Mages books get an update or something like that? Changed it around a bit? And we already have some Dragon Claws buying, so we'll see if we can flip these around really quick. We actually bought them for possibly too high in price, which is not a great sign. But we'll turn them around I'm going to try to get a better profit on that. No luck on that Twisted Bow yet either, but it is rotating back up, so I am good. Marty says, minus 17 mil on the volatile crash, 219 mil to 204 mil pog. That is really unfortunate, man. I'm curious, Marty, how much gold are you flipping with, right? Because if you actually took a loss like that, what caused you to sell it so quickly back to the exchange? Do you not really have enough money to, you know, do anything else with your gold with one volatile orb in your inventory? Or what exactly happened that caused you to actually lose money on the volatile orb and not be able to hold it for a longer time frame? We also did, let's see, okay, the Twisted Bow is still not selling off. We haven't got another Scythe yet, which kind of stinks, but I think we will actually end up selling this one here in a couple of minutes. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. Marty says 700 mil, I value opportunity cost. That's fair, that's fair. The thing is, you never know how long these things are going to take to recover, right? So if you think you can make more money in the meantime before the price recovers, sometimes it does make sense to take the loss. How much did you lose on the orb / Justiciar scape? We didn't lose any money on the orbs. Good to see you, Hunter, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. We didn't lose any money on the orbs. We actually ended up making a profit of about 12 to 14 mil, somewhere in there. But we did lose about 25 mil on the Justiciar armor sets. So, I don't know, maybe a 10 mil loss in total. We'll count it to that. Which is not too bad. Because basically, we ended up in the worst case scenario on the Justiciar armor sets, but the volatile orbs, like, they had a chance to recover, and they did. And don't worry, that will be in the next episode of Flipping with Scapenomics. So don't worry too much about you know, missing out or not seeing what happened. We'll definitely go through that in the next episode. It's time to smack some Tassies around. What is up, Saints fan? I don't think we're going to smack any Tassies around today, but I would like to get my hands on another Twisted Bow off, like a sell offer here. Hopefully we can sell this thing off. I'm currently watching the price. It hasn't updated in a couple of minutes, which isn't great, but anyway. Trying to find some stuff we can flip. These Dragon Hunter Lances are looking pretty juicy. We'll see if we can get a few of these off. I kind of want to go in big for these since we do have the money. We'll try and flip 8 of them right off the bat here. Jesse says, is going from 8 to 10 mil to 110 mil in 10 days good? Yeah, I would say that is very good. Obviously, it depends how much you're flipping during the day, but I would say those are some really, really nice gains. I would be very proud of that. How did the volatile orbs go from last week? Basically, we sold them for about a 12 to 14 mil profit, but we lost money on the Just Issue armor sets, so we lost about 10 mil total between the two. But we actually did escape them. It did work out in the end, which is crazy. And I actually had no idea. I was like away for the weekend. I didn't look at my RuneScape at all, and then I came back and I saw that they sold off. Was very happy about that. How does the audio sound, guys? Is the audio good? I always have trouble balancing the audio before the stream starts, so let me know if it does sound good or if it's too quiet, if it's too loud. I would appreciate the feedback on that. It's fine. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Anyway, 269 mil in the stack here. We are trying to get in on another item. No luck yet on the Dragon Hunter Lances. I really like to flip the Dragon Hunter Lances. I think it's a really solid item that is pretty much accessible to most smaller cash stacks. I mean, if you're flipping with like 200 mil, the Dragon Hunter Lance is one of those good items that you can flip back and forth. That's going to net you around 200k, 150 to 200k every time you are able to trade one successfully. And it's really not that risky of an item. I mean, if you buy one and it starts crashing, it's one of those items that is still pretty stable and tends to revert to the mean more often than not. Unless, obviously, there is some content coming into the game that might affect the price direction of that actual item. Besides that, though, it is fine. It's my favorite item to flip. It is a very solid flipping item. I'm a little bit tired today, guys. I do apologize. I even got a lot of sleep last night, but I'm still exhausted, so I guess I haven't really been sleeping too good these past few nights. And wow, the Twisted Horns are under 1 mil? That's crazy. I never would have expected that. Just considering like the uniqueness of the item, I would never have thought it would go that low. I guess it makes sense though, after the last league, like a lot of that additional supply being entered into the game. It's just a little depressing. Hopefully none of you guys bought any Twisted Horns. I mean, not that it's a huge deal, but considering it's been about a year since that, or maybe even 2 years since the first league. Try to do these Dragon Warhammers next. I'm currently seeing about 100k margin on them, so I do want to try and go in on this as quickly as possible. We might be buying them in for too high of a price, but I think it's worth it if we can actually get these traded, which I do think will actually be the case. There were so many more points in the new leagues compared to the first one. Oh! Is that what it is, Gyroscope? Gyroscope, man, good to see you, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. I actually didn't know that that was the issue, because that would actually make sense, right? Because you have the old items that are adjusted to the original point values for the original league, but then you have the new league, which is giving a lot more points, and then probably the new league items were maybe a little bit more expensive from a point standpoint. Honestly, I don't know anything about the Trailblazer Twisted Leagues. I had no interest. We did one live stream on it, and then I was like, I hate this, like, when we came back to flipping. So, it didn't last very long for me. Anyway, we are getting in on those Dragon Warhammers. We'll see that. Who has the... Oh. Anyway. We're still trying to get these Dragon Warhammers coming in. We're still holding on to the Scythe as well, which is maybe not the best thing in the world. We haven't actually had the scythe price update in about 10 minutes. So we do need to keep that in mind as we're flipping these items. You never want an item offer to sit for too long without actually getting the offer filled, right? So keep that in mind when you are flipping. Usually for about the scythe or the twisted bow, I'll wait around 10 minutes, and then I'll try to move it around a bit. If it's something like the Dragon Hunter Lance or the Dragon Warhammer, maybe like 6 minutes, and then anything that's like higher volume than that, not as expensive, you might want to wait a little bit less. Anyway, though, we will do some adjustments here. I don't really know what to do on this site, though. It just updated, actually, so, the Twisted Bow, though, is not updating in the correct way we want. Currently have the Twisted Bow trading for about 2 mil less than where we bought it, which kind of stinks, but we'll just wait that one out a little bit longer. That really stinks, though. It's going to hurt our profit per hour here. Gyroscope says, yeah, I think it was almost 3 times more points per rank in Trailblazer in comparison. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all then. Honestly, that would have been a good warning to put out, I guess, before the league actually ended. But I didn't play leagues at all. I'm very unfamiliar with it. Gyra, do you like the leagues? Like, were you playing that a lot? Let me know if you guys even like the leagues in the chat. I don't know. Like, maybe if you're someone who likes to flip, leagues is kind of like you take a break from flipping for the most part, or you flip very passively. But for me, like, leagues, it was never really something I cared too much about. I don't really like the concept of like losing your progress at the end of the league. I know it's something that's like new and fresh, and there's kind of fun little perks and additions, and you get rewards and stuff like that, but like I can barely train my main account, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to restart. But I play 3 accounts at once, says Jesse. Wow, that's a lot, man. Why play leagues when I can max my real account? I feel the same way, Saint. And Gyro also chimes in. He says, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I got into flipping this year. Hopefully it's going well, Gyro, man. Dude, you've been making some great gains. I know that. You're very active in our Discord group, so I do appreciate that. And you're definitely very serious about it. So, like, an OG in my heart. Most people that tune into these streams are definitely very into flipping. I mean, you guys are here very, very often, so I appreciate the support. It really means a lot. Keith says, leagues is fun at the start, then it gets boring. Yeah, you could see, like, you know, a couple months down the line just being kind of burnt out from leagues. Because it's kind of the same thing at the end, right? Like, you can only achieve so much, and it's exciting in the beginning. You know, a lot of content creators are making content on it. It's all new stuff. People want to get into it. It's just, like, super fun, refreshing, and then it kind of loses its charm as time goes on. Anyway, we do need to adjust some items here. I mean, the scythe is just, like, terrible right now. You know, the price is very stable, but it's very stable, like, about 2 mil underneath where we actually... Or, no, it's about 1 mil underneath where we actually bought it. And I really don't want to sell it for a loss. I don't think it's really worth it for us to do that. So I'm just going to sell it for a little bit above where it's currently trading. And we'll still make a little bit of profit if we sell it off. But it's going to take a little bit of time, I'm sure. It just kind of sucks, right? Because we have the Twisted Bow and the Scythe, which we're both currently down on. And we can't use the money for anything else in the meantime. So it's really going to hurt our profit for this session. But that's okay. We're going to switch a couple of things around. I think we're going to be able to kind of clear things up a little bit, tune some things up, and actually end up making a profit. So let's go ahead and sell the Dragon Hunter Lances back. And wow, they basically instantly started selling for a solid profit here, guys. So we're just going to let that run and do its thing. We also have the Dragon Warhammers that are filling up again, which is very, very nice as well. So we'll try to sell these back, see if we can get any money from that. Still have 187 million GP on hand as well. And we'll just kind of, I guess, sit back for a minute here. I do actually want to try to flip something else, but I'm just not really sure what to go ahead and flip. I'm kind of looking through a lot of items right now, and nothing I see is really looking that appealing to me. I do see the Pegasian boots that are currently showing like over a 100k margin. It's probably a little bit unrealistic, but it could actually show you know, that margin itself might show there is some opportunity on those Pegasians. I don't want to list them at their current margin, though. We're going to go a little bit underneath and try to catch, like, a good deal, maybe a cheaper deal on those Pegasians. We'll see if that actually works out in the end. We did get the Scythe off, though, which I'm very, very happy about. And that means the Scythe margin's got to be really, really big right now. So that is a good sign for us to get back in on the item. which is what we're going to be doing here very shortly. Well, hopefully we can buy one quickly. If we can't, then we'll be sitting on that for a little bit longer. But that does take a little bit of risk off the table, which is good. It means we have another 500 mil to work around with in the meantime. And the Twisted Bow is still currently trading for about 2 mil less than where we bought it, so it's a little bit sketchy on that. Anyway, currently up to about 2.7 mil in profit, averaging about 6.8 mil an hour, which is pretty good. And we're about 24 minutes into the stream. So if you guys are enjoying the stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. I'm behind on a video this week, but I'm going to try to film and edit something tomorrow to get up for Wednesday's upload. I think we're going to be doing a smaller cash stack flipping guide, maybe like a 50 mil flipping guide for real-time prices. That way you guys can actually learn how to flip a smaller stack with the real-time meta. I found that a lot of people in our Discord group are struggling flipping that smaller stack with real-time prices. And trust me, I don't blame them at all. Like, flipping in real-time prices with a smaller stack is like completely different than the way it used to be. So there's a lot of like ambiguity, a lot of questions around how you actually go ahead and do that. Saints fan says, I actually haven't played OSRS in a month, but I still tune into the streams. Dude, big fan, man. Big fan. And we also got that scythe off immediately. Like, what the heck? All of a sudden, the scythe just starts rotating up, and we start filling amazing offers out. Very happy with that. Also got all the lances off, swinging to a 4.2 mil profit here in the last couple of minutes. That's crazy. And we could maybe get another scythe if we so choose. We have to move it up a little bit here, though. Let's do... yeah, that looks about right. We'll try to get another one here. Alejandro says, hey, the Pegasians dropped. Yeah, we're picking up a few cheap ones. We'll see if we can actually flip it for the higher margin as well. I'm not sure if that's actually going to work, but it's worth a shot. Also, these Dragon Warhammers are kind of getting a little bit stale, and the margin actually looks pretty good on them right now. So I kind of want to just cut back and take that margin as quickly as I can and move on to another item. Oh, wait, I listed those incorrectly. Hold on. And we'll sell these back. Let's see. Looks about right to me. Anyway, guys, welcome to the stream today. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We are selling those Dragon Warhammers off very quickly. Only a 40k profit on each of them, so it's not as good as I thought, but we'll still take it. Now, the Twisted Bow is still very stale. It has been trading around this 904 mil mark for the past, like, 10 minutes or so, with, like, 0 price updates coming in on that item. So I'm not too crazy about that, but I also am not too scared of it going below 900 mil. The Twisted Bow is a very meta item, and when it drops a lot, people do buy in because it is a very lucrative item to flip, especially when it goes on a little bit of a price run. Alejandro says, quick flips. Yeah, things are going quick today, man. We have Marty also saying, I flip with my Rune Dragon alt using a small stack for fun. It makes it more creative nowadays in terms of items. The old meta high volume flips don't really cut it. Yeah, they definitely don't cut it the same way that they used to. There's a lot more volatility and price movement than there used to be in the past. So it's not that you can't flip with a smaller stack, it's just the style of flipping is completely different, and you have to think about it in a completely different way. It's more you have to focus on passive flipping and progressing your account and getting better money makers on your account until you can build up that larger stack and afford to actually sit at the Grand Exchange and active flip. And then once you get to that point, you're probably going to make more per hour flipping than you would if you were actually doing any kind of PVM within game. Yes, I do think flipping is the best moneymaker. It is the only moneymaker where you can make a significant amount of money while you are signed out of the game. Of course, it's kind of the only moneymaker where you can lose money too, so there is that kind of risk to it as well, but you can definitely make a lot more flipping than any kind of PVM activity. Although there are some really good PVM activities with a little bit of luck that will actually rival the profit of flipping, right? So things like Chambers of Xerix or Theater of Blood, if you get a hype drop, obviously, and then like you don't have to split it with too many people, obviously that's going to make you a lot of money per hour once you hit that drop table. And I think Theater of Blood specifically is one of those really lucrative pieces. The T-Bow is 900 mil. Yes, it is 900 mil currently. I don't think we'll actually sit around there for too long unless some more range updates come into the game that throw things off. Jesse says, I've got a question. How do you flip with like Arma, Bandos, Dragon Warhammer, etc.? I always get maybe one and then the price changes. Should I stay at my price? Probably not. If you see that the price updates, you should rotate your offer as well, because that means like it's likely moving upwards or downwards, and you should adjust accordingly to actually flip the item. It can be very like hands-on and intensive to actually do that, so keep that in mind. It might be better for you to try to focus on a longer time frame where you can kind of let the flips swing in your favor a bit more and just be very patient with it. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys are doing well today. We are currently at 19 viewers over on YouTube. We've got 6 over on Twitch. So what is up, everybody? Be sure to drop a like, by the way, if you are enjoying the content. It really does help me out a lot. Gets my content up there with some other great OSRS content creators. And flipping is pretty unique, right? There's not a lot of people who actually cover flipping content, which is a shame, right? We'd love more people to do it, more people to make content on it, and just grow the community a little bit more. But it's one of those like kind of niche money makers that not that many people focus on. Not that many people are really into flipping as much as I like them to be, but you know what, it is what it is. Now we got all the Dragon Warhammers off. We still have a 647 mil here to end up working with, and I'm actually seeing that the price on the Twisted Bow starting to rotate back up as well, which is great. We might be able to squeeze another Twisted Bow really quickly for a cheaper price here. Hold on, let's actually try it. We'll see if it works. I'm not too sure it's gonna work, but it's for sure worth a shot. What? What? I was lied to. No. Okay, well, that's not ideal by any means. That being said, let's not freak out here. Let's just be very, very depressed. And just wait to sell these 2 Twisted Bows back. Not like this, dude. Not like this. I think we still will be able to profit, but I don't know why the price tracker is telling me that the Twisted Bows are trading about 2 mil above where they're currently trading. So we accidentally instant bought a Twisted Bow. Hopefully it's going to swing in our direction regardless, but I'm not positive. So change my price every 2 minutes. Thank you, real-time prices, says Jesse. Unfortunately, that is the reality for smaller cash stacks, right? You have to be more on top of your stack, more on top of your items. And the reason that actually is, like, why is that, you might think? Well, now that real-time prices have become available, it has basically made the barrier to entry for flipping extremely low. And boom, there's one Twisted Bow. The first one, we took a little bit of profit on. The next one, though, is going to be a lot more profit. So we just need to get this next one off, and we'll be in a solid situation. Even with the instant buy, we're in a good spot. Gyroscope says, yeah, Saints fan, T-Bow is dropping because the new bow they're proposing is going to be very strong. So does anyone in the chat actually know like what's going on with that new bow? And can they let me know in like the chat, like, hey, what about this new bow is so crazy, right? Like it must be really good against some kind of monster or something very niche within the game, because I can't imagine that the Jagex team is trying to make something that outdoes the Twisted Bow, because that would be sort of like power creep, and the community doesn't really like that very much. So what is it about this new bow that is really powerful? In Crystal Armor, it is competitive with the Twisted Bow according to their charts. It looks very strong. Interesting. It's good for high defense armor. I have to take a look at that update. Like, I'm honestly, like, super out of the loop on all of that stuff, so it's a little bit unfortunate. But I'm usually more in tune with the updates. I do have one investment that I've been working on behind the scenes. I know I've said it a couple times on these streams. That is, it's looking really juicy, guys. It's already gone up a fair bit, and I'm holding on to it for a little bit longer. I think there's a lot of profit I could be making on that. And we'll have a whole video that goes over it after the fact when it's done. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. But anyway, we have a lot of people here today in the live stream. Welcome, everybody. Be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying the content. It really does help me out a lot and gets my channel up there with some other great content creators. Also, if you want to join us on Discord, we have a flipping Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. That has over 2,000 members. So if you want to learn more about flipping and money making in RuneScape, be sure to join us on Discord. And there we go, guys. Nice little Twisted Bow profit there. Now we're currently up about 3.6 million on the Twisted Bows today for a 6.5 mil total profit, and we still have plenty of time to go today, guys. Margin's looking really nice for us right now, and I really cannot complain. I did list 2 twisted bows. I actually just want to do 1 twisted bow, going back in on this. I'm not too sure that the twisted bow is going to fill at our original price, but I sure as heck am going to try to. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we'll leave that there. And everything else is looking very, very nice right now. We could maybe go flip the Elysian. I mean, I think it's a little bit scary if we go ahead and put that Elysian in, because think about it. If the Elysian is having all this price movement and we buy one and it keeps going down, we could be in a very bad spot on that. The Pegasian boots haven't sold either, so let's adjust this down as well. The twisted bow margins are wonky right now, man. They're just bouncing all over the place. I mean, it's crazy. We'll do the maybe... the Dragon Hunter crossbow looks okay. I'm not crazy about it, but I think it'll be worth it. I do want to do another Scythe of Vitur when the margins are looking a little bit better on that, but right now I'm not really seeing a great opportunity on it. We might list one a little bit beneath the margin and see if it fills in our direction, but right now I'm not too convinced I want to do that. We'll try and get 8 of the Dragon Hunter crossbows here. We'll see if it works out in the end. And we'll list the Scythe too as well. I'm going to list it like maybe a mil underneath the margin. Not quite that much, but definitely a significant price, or significant bit lower than the current margin, because I think it might swing in our direction. Kenny says 2 bill. Yeah, we work with about 2.1 bill on these live streams, and it's been going pretty well today so far. 6.5 mil in profit this past 30 minutes, 35 minutes actually. So we are averaging a very good profit per hour, and I think we're doing very solid. I think we might be able to potentially get to 10 mil an hour. We'll have to see. We might have to get lucky to actually get there, but we'll see if it happens. Like, if this Scythe buys, that will be a significant step in the right direction. Also, the Twisted Bow 2, we're buying for a pretty cheap price. So, if it fills, we'll be in a good spot. The thing with flipping twisted bows in the Scythe of Vitur, like, if you guys watch me flip it, like, I'm pretty patient when it comes to actually buying and selling these items. Now, a mistake that I see a lot of people do when they are flipping these high-priced items is when they actually buy one, they freak out a little bit and they try to sell it as quickly as possible. That shouldn't always be the case. These items bounce around a lot, and the volatility on them will actually allow you to sell these items for higher prices than you probably think you'd be able to fill without it, right? So, even if the active margin is below where you're currently selling, that doesn't mean that the item like the Scythe or the Twisted Bow is not going to sell at that price within the next couple of minutes. It can very well rotate up in price and you sell for a significant profit. That's how I'm ending up with like 1 mil plus flips on the Twisted Bow and the Scythe. If you just wait a little bit longer, things will go in your direction. You will actually be able to sell these off for a really good profit. Now, there's a little bit more that goes into it, but that is the general principle. And these Dragon Hunter crossbows are buying extremely quickly, so we'll have to see what happens on those. I'm actually just going to let them buy. I think we actually will be able to sell these for a profit. And still waiting on the Pegasian boots as well. Literally, as soon as I say it, dude. Like, it's crazy when that happens. Anyway. I might want to do some of the Armadillo chain skirts next after I free up a little bit more cash here. Seeing a decent margin on them. I don't really have a lot of luck flipping those Armadillo chain skirts, though. They are a relatively competitive item, so maybe I actually won't do those, and we'll do, like, the Kodai instead. The Kodai one looks like it's got a good margin as well. Let's see, maybe... Trying to find the best item for us to actually go in on and flip here. Sometimes you got to be a little bit patient with it. I don't really see too much that I'm crazy about. Maybe we'll just sit on this 97 mil for a minute. The Scythe is looking like a better margin right now, though. Something that would make me actually go in at a higher price level than we have currently listed, just because the Scythe is actually over a 1 mil active margin right now, which I'm very happy to see. And we'll go back in on that, see if we can get any luck on it today. 6.7 mil right now, guys. Doing very solid on today's live stream. Very happy about the profits. Go for an Ellie flip? We could. I'm a little bit nervous too, but yeah, we can. The Elysian is a little bit less consistent. Like it's not less consistent, but you have to, like, it takes longer to flip one for a good margin, right? Like, you can actively flip an Elysian. It's a little bit risky, but you can actively flip it for, like 1 mil margins, like pretty consistently. But when I'm flipping the Elysian, I'm trying to get like 2.53 because you can really make a lot of bank on them. I will keep an eye on the price here. I'm actually going to pull it up over on GE Tracker, see if I can actually find a good margin on that Elysian. And it definitely has gone down a bit this past weekend, and it's kind of consolidating today around the, what, 870 mil it looks like. Yeah, that does not really look like an enticing graph to me. I mean, we've just seen this thing downtrend for the past 7 days, and actually about half the month this thing has been going straight down in price, and it's pretty aggressively going down in price as well, right? We started the month it was at 980 mil. Currently, right now, 2 weeks in, we're down about 100 mil on that Elysian. So that is not giving me a lot of confidence on the long-term direction of the Elysian Spirit Shield, and is not making me too crazy to flip it or too excited to flip it. And that's probably because of some of the ranged meta changes, right? I mean, Armor Crossbow with the Elysian Spirit Shield offhand might not be a boss option anymore, but what do I know? Let's go ahead and sell these Dragon Hunter crossbows back. I honestly don't know how these are going to work out for us. I'm going to try to stretch the margin a little bit on that. We'll see what happens. Excuse me. I will do an Ellie if I have like enough money come up and we can try one. But I do want to try and get another Twisted Bow. The thing is, the Twisted Bow is just a little bit more consistent than the Elysian, right? The Twisted Bow, the Scythe, a little bit easier to buy and sell, and I know we can make a lot quicker profits on those. And we did actually get a Twisted Bow right now, so I want to go ahead and sell this back. This one's not even going to be that much profit, but it is going to be a profit nonetheless. And yeah, that's like really the only good stuff I see right now, unfortunately. If we sell the Dragon Hunter crossbows, we might be able to clear up enough money to flip an Elysian as well. Definitely some good profit in here today, though, guys. I just hit the microphone. Streamer fails. And we'll keep a close eye on that Elysian Spirit Shield price, too, just to see where it's going. I don't think I'm crazy about getting into it right now. It's still pretty early with the downtrend on that Elysian, right? Like, even within the past day, this thing has gone down a fair bit. So, people might see that. They might continue to sell off as well because of that. And I'm not crazy about getting in at these prices, but we might be able to flip it. Definitely want to try to get a Scythe, though, if I can. Let's see here. We're going to rotate the price on the Scythe about 250k upwards, just to actually stay competitive on our price listing and try to buy one. I hit a wall today with flipping, says Hunter, and decided to go on the old school item list and favorite all the items that look good to me. Well, that's a good way to change things up a little bit. One way that I do recommend to actually look for items is by doing that. You can also do it on GE Tracker. You can favorite your items as well, or you can use the OSRS price wiki and do the same exact thing and favorite the items that you like flipping. Another great way to do it is just to filter on GE Tracker for certain margins and then flip on those margins that you actually end up finding to make some profit. It's another good way to do it as well. Where are these dragon... Oh, finally. I was like, the Dragon Hunter crossbows, like, they're not really selling, but here they go. Hunter also says, ended up with a list of like 200 items. Another good way to do it as well is just watch flipping content, right? See what other flippers are flipping, talk with people in the Discord about flipping, use the item list that's on our Discord if you'd like that as well. There's plenty of good ways to find good margins and good items to actually flip in your flipping sessions. Now, keep in mind that when you are doing a flipping session, it is very important to maximize your efficiency. So you want to make sure you have items ready to flip, ready to go. You don't really want to be sitting there like, what should I flip? Because that's actually going to cut into your profit per hour, right? And when you're doing that, you're making less money and you're not making as much gains, which is a problem, okay? We're trying to maximize our cash tax, boys, okay? And you want to be efficient in doing so. I mean, RuneScape's all about efficiency, so that should be nothing new to you guys. Raphael, I think it's how I say your name. He says, hi there. Good to see you, Raph. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you are enjoying it. And guys, by the way, if you are enjoying the live stream, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Every single like counts. We're currently at 5 likes. Maybe we can get to like 10 likes or something. That would be amazing. So would appreciate it if you could go drop a like if you are watching on YouTube. Now, also, we are trying to buy another Scythe of Vitur here. It's just really not working in our favor today. And wow, a big chunk of those Dragon Hunter crossbows selling off as well. And wow, okay, they're all sold off. 7.3 mil in profit on those. 630k flipping 8 of them. That's actually not really that good, but it's good enough, and we'll definitely take that. And we could, if you guys want, okay, if the demand in the chat is there, I will try to flip an Elysian, but I definitely am afraid to do so, but I will try and do it. I didn't even ask the chat if we should. I just went for it. I just went for it. So the current way that we're playing this Elysian Spirit Shield, guys, is we're actually assuming that the Elysian is going to come down farther than where it currently is. Now, the reason I think that is because it hit some, like, it started to rebound around, like, 870 mil. So I want to see if I can flip one for around that price. And we'll see if we can succeed on it. I'm honestly not too sure. I think we could get lucky and get a really big Elysian Spirit Shield flip in, but there has to be a little bit more of aggression on the downtrend for that actually to work out. And keep in mind, we only have about 15 minutes, so I'm not really sure if we're going to be able to fill it out in that amount of time. I'm going to try to do my best to actually get that to happen, but it is what it is if we can, okay? And it might take like 10 minutes or so for us to actually get in on one. And what's that Twisted Bow doing? Okay, the Twisted Bow just decided it wanted to start coming back down in price again. Not too happy about that, but it is fine. I really thought we'd be able to easily sell that, but I guess not. It's going up and down. Not easy. And give you 1 second here, guys. Just checking some stuff on my phone. Not being a good streamer, I know. And, wow, 28 people in here. Maybe I shouldn't be staring at my phone. Welcome, everybody. Twisted Bow, sub 900 mil soon. Coaster Addict, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for tuning in today. It does look like it has been bouncing off 900 mil for the past couple attempts as it's gone down in price. That being said, how long can it actually last? Who knows, man? But there's definitely a lot of downward pressure on that Twisted Bow as we speak, and aggressive down pressure as well. But there is definitely people buying in at this 900 mil price point. Did it? Oh, see, because you can see on the G tracker graphs that it never actually got beneath 900 mil. It might have like very temporarily, but it bounced back immediately once it happened, and we are trending back down to retest that same exact level. We'll see if it holds or it doesn't. Honestly, I have no idea. Ramp says, do you recommend any items for high volume flipping? I really like to flip Diamond Dragon Bolts E, which are like they're not super high volume, but they're a great option for you to try. And that would be like my #1 option. I also like to flip Mana Rays as well. Monkfish, Sharks, those are really good too. Ceradoan Brews, Prayer Potions are great. Super Restores, Vials of Blood. Although those are a little bit more difficult to flip, but they still really are a good flip as well. Hopefully that helps you out, by the way, Ramp. And yeah, we're currently waiting right now. We're hoping that the Elysian Spirit Shield does fill at this lower price. We'll have to see. And the Scythe of Atur definitely has started to aggressively uptrend as well, which is interesting. Maybe we should flip that, but I do want to try to flip the Elysian, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't really done it in a couple minutes. Couple minutes, I mean, today at all. I mean, maybe the past few live streams we haven't really touched it. But anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you are enjoying it. And yeah, now the Scythe of Atur all of a sudden just trading at 533 mil flat, which is interesting. It could be a very boring stretch here at the end, trying to get this Elysian bought and sold, but maybe we'll sub it out here in a minute. I'm currently like checking the price updates on that Elysian to see if we get another price update on it, right? Because I want to see where this is actually trading, if it's going to start recovering or not. But again, it's not an item that's traded as frequently, so seeing price updates on that Elysian Spirit Shield do take a little bit longer than you typically expect on something like, you know, it's obviously a lot faster than the Twisted Bow or the Scythe of Atur, or sorry, a lot longer than the Twisted Bow or the Scythe of Atur. It's probably about 3 times the length when you are trying to do a Elysian Spirit Shield flip. And obviously that is relative. We have Marty, he says, any situation where the sale price is actually higher than the buy price, Wiki shows a negative margin. Wow, look, we did get the Elysian right there, guys. We're going to try and turn this around as quickly as possible here, and we'll see if we can get a good profit on it. Should be able to fill that out. Should work. Should work. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed, guys. Hold on one sec. Marty said, okay, how do you exploit this? So if the sell price is higher than the buy price, that means that the item is likely, wait, the sell price should be higher than the buy price. Oh, I see what you're saying. They have it reversed on the wiki. Sorry. Yes. So in situations like that, you can expect the item to crash. So what you can do is you can list lower. I actually have a video on this, Marty. If you go check out my channel, it is how to flip. I forget exactly what it's called. If you message me on Discord, I can send it to you, but I'll check right now to actually see what it is called, because it is a very solid video that shows you how to take advantage of price dumps or item price movement. And if you actually follow this guide, you will be able to capitalize on those situations. It's called How to Flip Expensive Items in OSRS. That is a video. That is a golden video, and it is, like, honestly, that is one of the best videos for, like, flipping strategy that I have, and it is, like, one of my least viewed videos, which is freaking crazy. There's, like, gold information in that, dude. Anyway, regardless, that is going to tell you how to do that. You want to list a little bit lower than where the margin currently is, because you expect the price to come down. You can actually capture that price at a lower, you can capture that margin at a lower price, sell it back for a good profit, and you'll make some money on that. Anyway, I'm Rage Virus, says, let's push that likes count to 20. Rage, it is good to see you guys. Welcome to the stream today. By the way, if you are enjoying the live stream, definitely drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And if you want to join us on Discord, we have a Discord. There is a link in the description below. Basically, it is a flipping community. So if you want to learn more about flipping or increase your profit per hour, definitely join us on Discord. Lots of gold in there that does not get exposed here on YouTube that you can take advantage of as well. So if you're serious about it and you want to make some bank, definitely go check out the Discord as well. And wow, we finally got that Twisted Bow off after waiting for like ages on that thing. And it looks like the Elysian updated with a price significantly lower than where we bought it, so that's not too great, but we'll try to adjust to actually sell our current Elysian before it keeps crashing even further. So maybe we should not have gone in on that next Elysian there. Now we do have a lot of money to still work with here, and the Scythe of Eter is still being a little bit weird here, so hold on. See if I can buy another one for a little bit cheaper there. I don't really want to do another Twisted Bow. It's just been really, like, inconsistent this stream, but anyway. Just caught the end. Well, it's okay, Rage, man. Good to make it. You made it today. We have Monty Mole giving us a subscription over on YouTube. Thank you, Monty, man. Welcome to the flipping team. Hopefully you are enjoying. And boom, we did get that Elysian Spirit Shield off for 1.1 mil profit. Nothing crazy, but definitely a significant profit nonetheless. We are going to go back in on that for even cheaper and try to get another one. We're trying to, like, follow this margin down. Hopefully we don't buy it for too high in price and get screwed. Because the Elysian is just really not that easy of a flip. Keith Rowley says, I highly recommend the Discord channel, Friendly Folk with Solid Advice. Yeah, and that's a place you can get advice 24/7 as well, right? Like, I'm not always streaming. I don't always have content coming out all the time, but if you message me on Discord personally, I will get back to you when I can if you have any personalized questions. And we also have an amazing community there that literally will help you out big time. I know a lot of people say, like, oh, join my Discord, it's so friendly and stuff like that, but, like, I'm not even kidding. Our Discord group is, like, really solid gold for anyone trying to get into flipping or improve at flipping, or even if you're really good and you just want to connect with other people and see how they do flipping and their strategies. Like, I mean, it's a gold mine for that stuff. So definitely check it out. What kind of ROI would you say is good for a day of flipping? Monty, it depends on how much you flip, and it depends on how much you flip, how much GP you have, how much experience you have, and how lucky you get. So it's really subjective. For me, like, if I'm flipping if I'm doing like an hour session, I'd say like 6 to 7 mil is typically what I'd average an hour on these live streams. Maybe like off stream, like 7.58 mil if I'm more focused. And then, like, you know, if I do active flipping and overnight flipping and passive flipping throughout the day, like, I'm easily netting 30 to 40 mil days, but that's like more high effort, and it's not always like that. Like, that's like right now, like, markets are really good right now. Like, there's a lot of volatility, so we are doing a lot from a profit standpoint, and we want to take advantage of that. Now, the reason the markets are so volatile is because there's tons of, you know, updates coming in the future that Jagex keeps talking about, and when those updates happen, people get really excited to make some money. The markets go a little bit crazy because people don't know what the content and what the meta is going to look like in the future, which sends things in a spiral. So definitely take advantage of the volatile markets that we do have here. Let's see. We have Coaster Addict saying, I got 610 mil in items I'm trying to slow sell overnight. Price is like 10 to 15K away from the target on all of them, but the price of the market overall makes me feel sketchy about it. Coaster, I mean, you might want to take some profits early just to kind of take some risk off the table. Maybe you want to sell half your items. I don't know, like, too much about the situation, but you could sell half and hold the rest of it to see if it actually rotates up, and you can sell it for a higher price. That's really up to you how you want to play that one, but that's probably what I would have done. I do actually want to look at the volatile orb price. Okay, so they did go back down again a little bit. No ban, please. Giving us a subscription over on YouTube. Welcome to the flipping team, man. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. Welcome to the stream. We're currently at 11 likes. Maybe we can get to 15 by the end of the stream. I mean, we only have a couple minutes, but that would be amazing. And we're currently sitting at 8.9 mil in profit right now. Now, I would like to bump that up to 9 mil. If we can get an Elysian Spirit Shield again, we will be able to hit that. But I'm not sure if we're actually going to be able to fill that out here. We'll see. The risk is what makes it fun, though. I can't argue with you on that, man. Kluska popping in, he says, do you think OSRS could benefit from a skill like Invention from RS3? Could it benefit? Yes. Do I think that old school RuneScape should have Invention? No. If that makes sense. It would benefit, but it's not the right way to do it, in my opinion. Because, like, I don't know. Does Invention belong in old school RuneScape? That seems too, like, new school, in my opinion. And I know, like, there's concepts that are used from RuneScape 3 in old school RuneScape with, like, different themes and different skins and stuff like that. And that are slightly different. But, I don't know. Invention is, like, a little bit too far. But I don't also know what the solution is for that. one solution that I do like is if Jagex can hold the charity event like they did in the past with the Well of Goodwill, I think it was called. Ramp God giving us a subscription over on Twitch. Thank you, Ramp. Do appreciate, or sorry, on YouTube. I do appreciate that, man. Welcome to the flipping team. Always great to have you, man. But anyway, like I was saying, one event that I would actually like is for them to do the Well of Goodwill again, where you can donate gold into the well, and if you donate gold, it just like Jagex will match it from a like donation company standpoint, right? So like I think like Jagex donated a couple $1 million last time they had the event. I don't know exactly how much they did, but they donate real currency for depending on how much RuneScape gold players donate. So it's basically the official real world trade, but it doesn't really go into anyone's pockets. It goes to a good cause, and that's what I would like to see again. Now, and that happened in like 2016, but now a way to incentivize players to actually put money in there, look, I've got the whole concept down, is every time someone donates $1 million or more, there should be like a 0.00001% chance that they get a coin stack pet, right? So like a coin stack that like hops behind you and hops around and follows you. That should be the reward for every $1 million that you donate to the well, because then people, I don't know what the drop chance should be, but that will incentivize people to donate to the well, and it will sink gold out of the game. Now, is it going to fix the issue? No, but is it a temporary fix that might actually end up sinking a lot of gold from the economy? Definitely. And we do need item sinks as well. There's, you know, obviously that's a thing too, but that is definitely a way to get some more gold out of circulation, and personally what I would like to see from the Jagex team as a first step. Now, as far as item sinks go, it's kind of hard to determine what that might be, but anyway. Or a public donators leaderboard. People love high scores. That would be a good one as well. Will piss pet hunters off? Well, you can't win them all, I guess. 30 watching and 12 likes. Smack that like button, folks. Thank you, Keith, man. I do appreciate it. We don't really need GP sync anymore. More of an item sync. Yeah, item syncs are a little bit hard. Wait, what? Wait. Lindor says that's illegal now, though. Wait, what's illegal? Is doing an operation like that illegal? I don't think so, right? What would be wrong with that? What's wrong with the Well of Goodwill? What's like the legality there? Anyway, we are going to wrap up some of these flips here because like they haven't bought here, and we are coming up on the hour here. And wow, we actually did do really good today. 8.9 mil in profit. That's a little bit better than average, I would say. I'm surprised. I really want to hear why it's illegal, though. Very interesting to me. Is it like a European law or like a UK law, maybe? Mod Matt K covered it. Okay, I will find out. Don't worry. I'm like asking like Lindor to like explain the legality. He probably like is not a lawyer at all or in the field like not even close. I'm pretty sure you're like not even close to it. So anyway, shows how ignorant of a streamer I am, okay? Flame me in the chat. Regardless, guys, thank you so much for watching today, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. If you did enjoy, please drop a like. Also, if you want to join us on Discord, one more shout out for that. We have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. So if you want to join us there, there's a link in the description below for that. It's an amazing group, I promise. And it's free, right? Like if you don't like it, you can just hop in, hop out. Not a big deal. Anyway, we did end up the stream here today making 8.9 mil in profit, 4 mil across 5 twisted bows, not too bad. We did flip a couple sides of a turf for 1.5 mil total profit. Not really great per, but it's fine. We did a 1.1 mil Ellie flip. Could have made a little bit more on that potentially. 760k across 5 Dragon Hunter lances. Very happy about that. Dragon Hunter crossbows, a total of 630k, flipping 8 of those. Pretty good. The Grazis, we made 240k flipping 3, and the Dragon Warhammers 200k flipping 5, and a couple less significant flips after that. Anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy the stream today. Drop a like if you did, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.